I don't think I've ever been to such a big exhibition, and it's great in terms of kind of a sense of confidence in the future. And of course, from the government point of view, the North Sea presents a fantastic opportunity for the future. I mean, we've got great things out of it in the past, but we still got, 20 billion barrels, give or take a billion or two. It's a huge potential, and we want to do everything we can to encourage industry to exploit this fantastic reserve over the next few years, and that's really what I'm about here.
The industry is seeking some support in the fiscal and regulatory regime. Can you give them any confidence in that respect?
Well, industry is always looking for something in the fiscal area, and of course I've talked to industry leaders, and I'm aware of their views and where they think fiscal incentives might be given in the future. We've got officials here from the Treasury and Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, and they're listening too. I mean, we've got a good record. We've shown that we have made fiscal changes when that has been in the national interest and there's value for money. We're always prepared to talk to industry, and we've also shown flexibility in the licensing system. And we all know industry has gone through a tough time in the past 2 years. We've shown flexibility in relaxing some of the time limits in relation to licensing. We've shown that we are prepared to relax some of the obligations that's carried with licensing. It has to be on a case-by-case basis, but you know, we do want to have a stable regulatory regime, but one which is flexible and where we do work with industry, and that's what I'm keen to do, to establish and maintain the partnership we do have with this fantastic industry.
Is relieving the tax burden on some of the smaller companies that might buy North Sea assets, is that something that might be looked at?
I think you've got to be very careful to not to push me into making predictions or decisions about taxation. It doesn't fall to me to do. My job is to listen to where the concerns are, to ensure those concerns are communicated to the Treasury, that these are listened to. But I also have to say, you know, in the last budget, I think that the government did well by the North Sea.
Can I ask you about the climate change conference in Copenhagen later this year? What are your hopes for that? Do you hope we can get concrete proposals out of that?
Yes, I mean, it's going to be very, very tough, but anyone looking at the science will know that unless we, you know, if we do nothing, temperatures could rise by up to 6 degrees centigrade by the end of this century. That would be a total disaster for the globe. And therefore we have to take action. We have to contain temperature rise to 2 degrees. And to do that, we've got to get a tough agreement in Copenhagen. It is going to be very difficult, but I am optimistic. I believe that most countries of the world recognise that we have to do something about climate change. Of course, there are all sorts of issues that have to be dealt with. What targets should be set? Money. You know, what money is going to be transferred from the developed world to the developing world? Technology know-how. How do you ensure that you don't, that there's integrity in the system of whatever, carbon trading you have? These are all sorts of issues that have to be developed and discussed. But I am optimistic. You know, there's no plan B. We really do have to get a deal in Copenhagen.
And do you think that the oil and gas industry has a long and prosperous future until the transition to perhaps more renewables is introduced?
Yes, we're going to use oil and gas for many years to come. I mean, at the moment in the UK, 75% of our energy needs comes from oil and gas. I think the projection is that by 2020 it will still be about 70%. So oil and gas is part of the transition. Oil and gas enables us to make the long-term transition to low-carbon energy. But also, I think that the fantastic skills that we have in the North Sea can easily translate to renewable energy. And we also, the government is really leading the world in wishing to see up to 4 scaled-up projects on carbon capture and storage. Again, the skills of the North Sea, potentially the North Sea itself, have a major role to play in that. So looking to the future in the North Sea, there's a lot of oil and gas to be exploited. There's a lot of work here. We need a lot more investment, and there's a great future.